Hey quilters, this is Sarah from Snugglebug Stitching, and today we are doing our follow-up video for our first ever Find It Friday. So just a little refresher if you didn't watch the first Find It Friday video. Find It Friday is a new segment that I've started, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a quilt or a quilt top where I made a mistake, and I will tell you in the video what kind of mistake you're looking for. But you're going to look and see if you can find my mistake, and if anyone is able to find my mistake, I will offer a pattern for $5, and that pattern will stay $5 from the time we post the follow-up video until 1 week later. So this particular pattern we're going to do for $5 will stay $5 until Friday of next week, and anyone can take advantage of the $5 pattern, not just the people who answered correctly. And the only thing that I ask with this is that when you comment your answer or your guesses, go ahead and comment anyway, even if someone else has already answered the same thing that you did. And the reason I say that is because it helps me judge a couple things. One, was this one too hard? And two, I want this to be a fun segment. So if nobody's answering, then that kind of just helps me decide if you guys are actually liking this segment. So let's take a look at the January Ninja Star quilt top. The top we're looking at is the inverted color scheme scrappy version of January Ninja Star. And let's look at what people answered versus what is the correct answer or the answer that I was looking for. So I actually think this one may have been a little too hard because nobody found the mistake that I was looking for. There were a lot of views, but not a lot of answers. So the mistake that I was looking for was a four patch that's turned the wrong way. And those two four patches, the green and yellow four patches that I have circled in red, are the four patches that people guessed. And while they're not really turned the wrong way, I am going to take this as a right answer and go ahead and give the pattern for $5 because that was a good catch. Having two four patches exactly the same is not usually something that I would have let slide in a quilt, and that would have been an easy one to just move the blocks around and fix. So I don't think I actually noticed it either. So it's a good catch. So I'm going to take that as a right answer. So you can see the mistake I was looking for circled in blue now, and this four patch is turned the wrong way in the block. So you can see that blue patch on there actually touches another high volume piece from the four patch in the block beside it. And this is not something that I noticed until I went to go lay out the blocks. And no matter how I turned that block, I couldn't keep from having the two high volumes in the four patch touch, which is not how it's supposed to look. And that's how I noticed that when I didn't notice it while I was making the block. And by that point, I really wasn't wanting to unpick those stitches, so I just left it in there and thought it would be a fun little game. All right, so our $5 pattern for the prize for this one is Ninjas in the Jungle. And you can use that $5 price for both the PDF version and the paper version. Just know that you will have to still pay shipping with the paper version. And this discount is open to anybody, even if you did not guess. So I will drop that link in the description. And one more thing, a hint about next Find It Friday. I'm going to use a pattern that I have used for a quilt along before. This is a free pattern. And I initially wrote this pattern to use up leftover layer cake squares. And then for the quilt along, I added a bunch of other options to make it so that more people could participate. And the $5 pattern for the incentive is going to be a pattern that also uses layer cake squares, and it is my most popular pattern. So I would love to hear your guesses if you have any on what those two patterns are. And I'll see you on our next Find It Friday.